presented by the gaming press. We're going to break it all down. Sony has officially responded to inquiries about the PlayStation Plus upgrade pricing, how it works. It did hit the Asian market. It's set to hit the American market in June, and many people are already criticizing this. And as I said, the gaming press is really misrepresenting this. Multiple articles calling this something like taking away your discount or removing discounts. This is simply untrue. I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. We're also going to be debating it. It's a VOD, it's a live stream. If you're watching the past broadcast, make sure and hit subscribe and the bell button. I'm going to bring everybody over from the live stream this morning. We discussed Call of Duty and the leaks and the launch details, well, the launch date, I should say, as well as the secret coded message. So if you want to see that VOD, be sure to check that out this morning. We always open up with a short little update like this for our updates channel, and it gives you all the information right here at the beginning of the video. This is a Reforge update. Sony PS Plus upgrade price is receiving criticism as well as a lot of misrepresentation in the gaming press. What is happening? I'm going to break it down for you as quickly as I can in this short video. Always feel free to check out Reforge Gaming, where I streamed the discussion live. But this channel, Reforge Updates, if you like it, hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss these uploads. PushSquare.com was the first one to report on this, and then VGC, Video Game Chronicle, also reported on it, and they are misrepresenting what is happening. It's honestly silly and dishonest, but let me give you the details. Some users were being quoted hundreds of dollars in order to upgrade from the bog standard PS Plus Essential, because if you have PS Plus now, you're going to get rolled over into Essential. You're going to be at that base level, nothing really changing. You don't have to do anything. But if you want to upgrade to PS Plus Extra, or the Asian market is calling it PS Plus Deluxe, it's their version of PS Plus Premium that's available in countries without cloud streaming functionality. They're being quoted hundreds of dollars. Now, what is going on? There's two different problems. There is one problem that Sony needs to resolve, and it's this one. Asian players are angry about the fact that those who have active PS Plus Essential memberships into, say, 2026, they're being quoted the price of 4 full years in order to upgrade to PS Plus Extra or PS Plus Deluxe. Some people had a bunch of cards, and so they banked a bunch of years of PS Plus. They want to secure the price. They want to secure the deal. So they have all these years. And if they want to upgrade to Extra or Deluxe, if you're in the American market, it would be you upgrading to Extra or Premium. They're making you do it for the entire amount that you have. So if you have 3 or 4 years paid out, they're making you do that. They're not allowing you to do like 1 year or like retroactively. I think they need to address that. The second thing is where the misrepresentation is taking place and just displaying a gross ignorance about how subscription services work in basically every other industry. To make matters worse, the Japanese giant is wiping out historical discounts on subscriptions purchased through the PS Store. No, they are not. So, if, for example, you bought your membership while it was on sale and then choose to upgrade, it will bump up the price difference to erode the savings you originally earned. VGC is using similar language about it removing discounts. It's not doing that. That is simply false. What it is doing, I'll explain in a moment. Sony officially responded to somebody in an email explaining how this will work. They said, since you purchased PlayStation Plus at a discounted price at the time of membership, there are 2 PlayStation Plus memberships that don't enjoy other discounts. Basically saying PlayStation Plus and Premium and Deluxe, they're not discounted right now. Therefore, if you need to upgrade to level 2 or 3 of Premium membership, you will need to make up the difference between the previous discounted price and the normal price. This is normal. For example, they said, for PlayStation Plus membership, if it's Hong Kong $308 in the Hong Kong currency, it's like a Hong Kong dollar is what I looked this up. That's what they call it. For 1 year, and the discounted price is $187, the difference is $120 divided by the number of months remaining. So they prorate, they give you credit, and you pay the difference, okay? Listen, as I said, if you've banked a bunch of years, they should let you choose what you want to do with that. Do you want to take that entire credit and put it towards a year or two? Give them that flexibility. Hopefully they can push out a change. The second, though, is that a perpetual discount is not an industry standard. Let me give you an example. If you got a $50 internet package for $30 a month because they were doing a sale for new customers, and then that internet company said, hey, we now have a faster plan in your area for $100. If you wanted to upgrade to that plan, you would pay the difference between your sale price and the $100. The fact that you got in at a sale price and enjoyed it for 6 or 7 months or whatever, you got to reap the benefits of that discount. But when they come to your neighborhood and say, well, we have a $100 plan now and it's much faster, you pay the difference. They prorate you according to how much you had paid that month. This is normal. It's normal with cell phones, internet packages, TV packages, a prorated amount, and you pay the difference. You don't get to keep your discount in perpetuity, especially when you got it for signing up or something, and now the new plans are a different price. So they are not removing a discount. They're not eroding it. They're not making you pay the discount back. These gaming bloggers and journalists are simply being dishonest. They're using phrasing to stir up negativity and make people get angry when this is an industry standard practice across the board, and they're preying on people's ignorance to make them angry about something that's a total false starter and not a real story. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out Reforge Gaming where I discuss this live, and hit subscribe and the bell button. I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you guys right now. Let's debate it. Let's debate it. Let's do this. These outlets are literally misleading people. This is a standard across the board. This is what they do in any other situation that is like this. A brand new member from Game On. Thank you so much for doing that. Guys, remember, it's a new stream, so go through the ritual, switch to live chat, and smash that like button. Get us our first 100 likes really, really fast. This morning was a bit of a dud with the Call of Duty subject, but let's have this one. Let's get this debate going on. The criticism is fair and should be applauded. I don't understand how it's fair and should be applauded. Why do you get to keep a discount for forever? They don't do this in any other industry. They don't do this in any other industry. I want you to interact with my internet provider example because nobody is arguing intellectually about this. Thank you, Skiffy Skiffles, for hitting a 9-month milestone. You're at a tier 2. Zubair's at a tier 2. 16-month milestone and renewing. Guys, remember, if you're tier 2 or higher, use the Madam Game Vote room in the Discord. Put games in there for Madam and I to play. It's got to be Steam, Game Pass, or PS Plus. I need you to do that. I need people to interact with my internet deal. You sign up for an internet plan that's typically $50. They give it to you for $30. You're saving $20 a month. 7 months later, they come to your neighborhood and they say, hey, there's faster internet now. It's $100 a month. If you upgrade, you pay the difference between your $30 and the $100. There's nothing at all unethical, wrong, or backwards about that. You don't keep that $20 discount in perpetuity. This has never been a thing anywhere ever. You're being misled by the gaming press. They're making this is a fake story. Bower Socks, 9-month milestone. Thank you for renewing. Game Pass did it right in the same industry. Why pull in the internet outside the industry? Dominic, what'd they do? Here's the question I have. If you have PS Plus currently, can you be grandfathered in keeping your old service, or do you have to... They just switch you over to the base level subscription, Zubair, and nothing changes for you. They just switch you over. It just converts you to the base level plan, at the essential, and nothing changes. No more money, no loss of benefits. I don't know. I don't think that's cool, says Gilly. If you get the base at a $10 discount from $15... then you want to upgrade to the $20. I think it's fair to pay the normal price difference, but not the discount difference. You're not paying the discounted difference, Gilly. You have given them money. So I'm going to use the internet example because it's fresh in my mind and it makes the most sense. You have been giving them $30 a month. So you've given them $30. You're signing up for a plan that costs $100. So you now owe them $100. You've paid them $30, you get credit for the $30, and you have to pay the $70 difference. In order for you to not have to do that, they'd have to discount the $100 down to $80. Why? Why? Because you get to keep your discount in perpetuity? That's not a thing. It's never been a thing. I had Game Pass for 2 years and was able to upgrade Game Pass Ultimate for $1 and keep my 2 years. That's the difference. No, you've not established why it's wrong. You're simply saying another company did something different. That's the Fazoli's argument. Fazoli's gives away free breadsticks. That doesn't mean every restaurant has to give you free breadsticks. You can't create an industry standard from something that one company does as a promo. There's promos all over the dadgum place. There are companies that give you, free movie channels when you sign up for their TV packages. That doesn't mean you can approach every TV company and say you have to give me free movie packages because this company does. You ask for an example? That's not an example. That's not an example of you getting to upgrade and keep a discount. That's quite literally another promotion. You literally went and cashed in on another promotion. That's not an example. An example would be saying, oh, it's an industry standard. You get to keep your discount in perpetuity. It's totally misleading to tell the public they're taking your discount away. No, they're not. It's not true. They're giving the same factual info as Lono. They're giving their opinion on it. No, they're not. It's not opinion, Doomslayer. Read the headlines. They are lying to the public. They're lying to the public. They're not taking away your discount. They're not eroding a discount. They're not charging you for the discount. Those are all lies. Game Pass has set the standard for the industry and Sony is falling behind. Sure it is. They have more. Okay, that should fix it. And if you can hear me, please tell people in chat to refresh if they need to. I have no idea what happened. My literal streaming rig just shut down. So I'm running the hardware monitor to see if we had like an overheat issue. I felt like this morning something sounded weird. Like the fans were just like the fans were spinning up randomly. I don't know. That's so frustrating. We were off to such a great start. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. That's so scary when that happens. That is so scary when that happens. It's just shut down. Like the computer just shut off. Like typically when that happens, it's because it's getting too hot or something. I don't know. I'm running the hardware monitor right now just to see if the CPU got too hot or something. Because I had the coolant replaced. I had the cooling system replaced a while ago because that happened. Yeah, right now it's spiked up to like 74 on the CPU. I don't know what's going on. That was a massive blip. Just tell everybody to refresh. Yeah, it'll be a massive blip when the rig shuts down. It'll be a massive blip. When the rig just shuts down, it's like suddenly YouTube's not getting anything. Have you cleaned temp files or cache files out? It's still buffering frequently. It's running just fine on my mobile. People probably just need to refresh, like leave all the way and come back in. Use MSI Afterburner. It does a lot of monitoring and fan control. I might use it for the CPU because that's my only concern is that if it spikes like that and then the pump doesn't kick up fast enough, then it'll just shut the computer down. So, good for me now. Right about when you were mentioning the 74. If you're still getting blips, that's not on my end. You just probably need to refresh. YouTube takes a second to stabilize. He's back, but he's blipping. Great. And I've refreshed twice. The only thing I could do is I could try and switch ingest servers just to see if that doesn't clean it out. If people are going to continue to blip. I'll give it another minute or two. No blips here. He's right. I closed the app and reopened it. I've refreshed and I'm not getting blips. Good for me also. Okay. I hate that. Like, that makes me so... Like, I get so shaky. I'm like, how am I supposed to do a show if my computer's just going to randomly shut down like that? Like, that's so irritating. So far, so good. No blips. You have not blipped a single time for me. Okay. All right. Well, I don't even remember what I was saying when I got blipped. I don't even remember what I was saying. An AOA should not be showing 74 on the CPU. It's currently 70 degrees Celsius on the CPU. I'm streaming at a medium encoding, that's why, on the CPU. I'm putting a lot of strain on the CPU. Whoever built your PC effed it up? No, they didn't. When I'm not streaming, it sits at like a 48 or a 50 degree Celsius. When I am streaming at a medium encoding, it's using the CPU a lot. Do you understand the tech behind streaming, Murph? Like that I'm not just sitting here idle at 70. 70 because the CPU is at high usage right now. Close the app, think it's good now? Okay. You were saying Game Pass is the best deal. Yeah, make sure you guys switch to live chat. Make sure you press the like button. Maybe suddenly surging back and getting a ton of viewers, we'll get some good treatment by YouTube, because we were on a really good run. I know a good bit about streaming. Homie, medium encoding is putting a lot of, like, the CPU is at 30% right now, so it should be heating up. Like, it's a decent amount of strain on the CPU. It's time for one of those 64 core rippers, thread rippers. Dude, I am that way. When this kind of stuff starts happening, I just want to buy a whole new rig. I just get annoyed. I'm like, I can't deal with this. You know, gaming rig's been doing the same thing every once in a while. Like, I go to boot up a game and the whole system just freezes. And when that doesn't happen, I'm like sighing, you know, like wiping my brow. Can you name one of the outlets? I want to read their take. Somebody put it here. I'll tell you. Let me show you why they're being dishonest. Like, I'm putting them on blast because they're being dishonest. It's not accurate reporting. Let me pull up this tweet, because the tweet's going to show you what I'm talking about. This is how VGC couched it. It's, in my mind, this is dishonest reporting. This is not accurate. This is so ridiculous. Why is the cap card not working? There we go. Okay. So what we have here is VGC tweeting about it. They said, a support email from PlayStation Hong Kong seemingly confirms reports that players subscribed to PlayStation Plus at a discount may have to pay the discount back to upgrade to PS Plus Extra or Premium. That phrase doesn't even make any sense. You're not paying back a discount. Do you understand what paying back the discount would entail? Let me explain it to you, since some people apparently need to get calculators for basic math. If you were on a discounted service for 6 months and they made you pay back the discount, they would go back and they would calculate the amount of money you saved each month and they would charge you that. That is not what they're doing. They are not making you pay the discount back. That's dishonest. Paying the discount back would entail them saying, you saved X number of dollars and you now have to pay us that back. That isn't what they're doing. They are doing normal upgrade subscription proration. It's totally normal. This isn't abnormal at all. Kotaku got put on blast yesterday and got owned on Twitter. What'd they say? Here's the issue as I see it. Buying the service at a discount gave you the full service. Upgrading for free from current Plus to Plus Essential tells the consumer they have equal value. Based on that, having such a huge cost for the upgrade feels unfair. Zubair, they only have to pay the upgrade if they sign up for one of the new services. They only have to do it on Extra or Premium. That's a new thing that doesn't exist right now. You're upgrading from the normal thing you have up to Extra or up to Premium. That's why I use the internet speed example. If you sign up for some company's internet speed and they're like, hey, it's $50, we're running a promotion right now, you get it for $30. $20 off, and you have that service for 6 to 7 months, and then they come to your neighborhood and say, we have faster internet in your neighborhood now. It's $100. You're upgrading to a $100 a month service, and you pay the difference. That's all they're doing. You only get a 30 credit towards a new plan. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The discount you're getting is not a credit you can spend. If normal plan is $50, you don't have a $50 credit, you're paying $30. Not saying you're wrong, trying to understand the feeling. What they should have said is, even if you got a discount on PS Plus, we are upgrading you to PS Plus Essential for free. Yeah, I don't like that either, because we're upgrading you for free. It's the same. They're just changing the naming. How is Xbox the standard, says Jeff? Sony doesn't have to this entitlement from gamers is mind-numbing. Yeah, just because Xbox did something does not make it an industry standard. TV packages, internet packages, cell phone packages, it's every other subscription service in existence does this. They do promotions to get people in the funnel. If you upgrade later on down the line, you don't keep that promotion in perpetuity. You lose it. They'll literally tell you that. They're like, you're on an old plan. And if you upgrade to the new stuff, you've got to pay the difference. Kotaku got called out by the Xbox Game Pass Twitter account when Kotaku said there was burnout from Game Pass. Oh, yeah, we covered that yesterday. I thought he was talking about PlayStation. It's a perpetual discount. Is it a perpetual discount, or is it a discounted prepaid amount of the service time? If I already paid 24 months of the discounted PS Plus, it's fair to charge the difference in normal to the upgraded service, but not charged to make up for the already paid discount service. I don't understand what you're saying, Gilly. Talking about how people are leaving Game Pass when it was just a couple of insiders. Young Ye did a video about it. Yeah, I don't think people are leaving Game Pass in droves, but I think people are going to for the rest of this year. You will see a slowdown in the Game Pass funnel fill. I think you will. There's not as much draw right now. Starfield delay hurt. It did. Because you could have had a ton of people ramping up and getting Game Pass to get ready for Starfield. You're not going to have that now. Let me be clear. Nothing you're saying is wrong, but you have to frame it for the consumer in a way that they see the value they are getting. It's framed in such a way that many people are having an issue with it. Well, yeah, it's easy to have an issue with it when you got people like VGC saying you may have to pay the discount back. You're not... That is dishonest. You're not paying the discount back. That's why people are having an issue with it. The phrasing in the Push Square article. Push Square article said that it'll bump up the price difference to erode the savings you originally earned. But no, it's not bumping anything up. You're paying the difference. The one true comparison to make is how Microsoft handled the Game Pass conversion. And Sony is doing the exact opposite way, and it's irritating a lot of people, and rightfully so. Well, I don't think so. I think Sony fans aren't going to give a rip about this. The one thing I'm noticing that's a legitimate complaint are the people that have banked a bunch of years. And they banked all these years, and now it's like, well, if you want to convert, you got to bank the same number of years. You got to sign up for the same number of years, and it's like, well, that's kind of stupid. That's dumb, right? Like, you can't force them to do that. So wait, 12 minutes ago would have been 35. So we streamed for about 14 minutes before it happened. Okay, actually, no. Yeah, 14 minutes. Okay, so we get past that 15-minute mark, we streamed all morning, so I guess that's not really a testimony. We already did a long stream. Does Sony charge a discount difference if you already paid for PS Plus? You can prepay for Xbox Live and not pay month to month. If you already paid for a discount, that's not cool. Oh no, what they do, Gilly, is they only make you pay the difference. So if you prepaid for the entire year, and let's say you have 4 months left, they only make you pay the difference on those 4 remaining months. They're like, okay, well, 4 months of this minus what you've already paid, okay, this is how much you owe us. They don't make you pay for the whole thing. Don't people see how... I don't see how people don't get this. I just did this recently with my internet and phone plan. I had a sale plan, and before it ended, I changed my plan and just paid the new plan price. No paying anything back. Yeah, you're not paying a discount back. That just simply isn't true. Starfield did hurt. It was my most anticipated game of the year. I was really looking forward to it. I love new games to play, especially games like that. What did Sony say in the email? They confirmed exactly what we've been saying, that you're just going to pay the difference. It's a prorated thing. They're not making you pay back a discount. You guys are seeming to think because you spent a lump sum for your year of service, you are still technically paying monthly. You're just buying all the months at once. You can't squash your remaining time together in one money amount to pay for the new service. It's not set up that way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They calculate your remaining months, and then they give you that towards you. They give you credit for that, and then they make you pay the difference. That's what you would do the same thing on any other subscription service, other than what Game Pass did. To use your analogy, people aren't looking at having prepaid $30 a month. They're looking at it as having 3 years of the $50 a month service. That's why they're stuck feeling like they're losing. But again, they're only making you pay the difference. You're totally right that the coverage is misleading. Listen, yeah, I guess that's the thing, Zubair, is I'm not necessarily upset at the people who banked a bunch of years and are confused or like, I don't understand what I'm paying for here. Right? I'm not taking issue with those people. They obviously should do a little bit of research into, like, I don't know how all of these various things work. What if I have a year left? Do I have to pay the whole thing? No, Mo. If you paid for an entire year of PS Plus, you only have to pay the difference. They're going to give you credit for what you paid. If we're crapping on the coverage, I'm 100% on board. Yeah, this is what I'm taking issue with. Telling the public that they're having to pay the discount back to upgrade? This is so dumb. No, you're not. You are not paying the discount back. Again, paying the discount back would include calculating how many months you've had the discount and then saying you saved $10 a month for 6 months, you owe us that $60 that you saved. Can you check out my earlier question? How far up is it, Robert? In the past, if I had discounted PS Plus and wanted to upgrade to the old PS Now, what should have happened? I don't understand what you mean. Why would you? What, PS Now doesn't exist anymore. You wanted to upgrade to the old? They're getting rid of it. Okay, listen. The normal $15 price sale to $10. I buy 10 months on sale. It costs me $100 to upgrade to the $20 plan for my 10 months. They're taking back my sale savings. No, they're not. They're not taking back your sale savings. That's simply untrue. You're buying a new plan. Dark Roast is good. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Thank you. You're not losing your discount because you're switching to a new service. Robert, if I bought the $50 internet package for $30, I bought it for $30, and 2 weeks later I find out they have the $100 super fast plan, and I switch to that, they're not taking my discount away or making me pay it back. I'm switching to a completely different package. If you check out my previous statement, I outlined an instance with Wi-Fi in which mine was maintained. What? Wi-Fi? I got to keep the discount for my Wi-Fi plan upgrade with Xfinity. Went from 65 instead of 80 to 75 instead of 90. Didn't have to ask them to do this either. It wasn't even mentioned. More than likely, that's because they had promo pricing that they could put you on. When I worked at Charter Communications, you could 100% do that. 100%. Internet's not prepaid, my guy. Sure it is. You can pay your bill in advance, my guy. You can pay your bill in advance. Go right now on the internet, go to pay your bill, and type in the total amount for 12 months. And then it'll just take away from that credit for the remainder of the year. It's no different, bro. It's the same thing. and they would give you that credit that you paid for the entire year, and they would say, well, actually what it would start doing is that new amount would hit your credit, and the credit would just run out faster. It's 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. If you paid for 12 months of PS Plus at $5 and you upgrade to the new Deluxe, which is $15, they have you paying $10 a month. Yeah, that's exactly right. You pay the difference on the remaining months. It's fair. It's what every other company does. It's what every other company does. I wasn't trying to be snippy about the my guy thing. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, see, we just spiked again on temperature to 78. Out of nowhere. We're just sitting here. The price is totally fair. So why is everyone confused? Well, they're confused because the press is saying you're paying back the discount. The press is saying that you're paying back the discount. I'm like, no, you're not. Is it prepaid though? That's what's important. If it's a discounted month-to-month service, then no. But if you paid for 24 months at $5 off, then to upgrade, you have to pay the upgrade difference and the $5. That's not cool. But no, that's not what you're doing, Gilly. Oh my gosh, that's not what you're doing. You are switching to a different plan that costs more every month. Just because you prepaid for a month of PS Plus has no bearing on PS Plus Premium. It's a completely different plan. So when you switch to the new plan, you pay the difference. Now, yes, Mr. Polar Bear, I have taken issue with the fact there are people that, for whatever reason, they have years and years they've got years of PS Plus paid out, and they're making them pay for 2 and 3 years at a time. I do take issue with that. That needs to be addressed. You should have the option to just roll all your credit into one lump sum and say, can you just give me a year instead of 3? For the 9th time, once you upgrade your service, you are subject to the new service price regardless of what you paid before. That's exactly right. You're switching. Only the members with both PS Now and PS Plus is free. People with years stacked having to upgrade all of them needs to be figured out. Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to work. Probably because it's an edge case. It's probably an edge case. There's probably a super small percentage of people that have years of PS Plus banked, and they just didn't count. They didn't consider it for some reason. PS Plus is $15 with a $5 discount. PS Plus Deluxe is $20 with no discount. You can't use a coupon for a Big Mac on Nuggies. It's different. This is such a non-story for me. I mean, it's a story. It's a story that that the press is misrepresenting it. It'll definitely lead to some people to not upgrade their memberships until their current discounted one runs out. I'm sure of that. Maybe sane, but why would you? Extra, PS Plus Extra, and PS Plus Premium come with way more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're going to roll over into is what you have now. You're just going to roll over into what you have now. And if you want to bump up to Extra or Premium and get all those games and all those perks, you have to pay for that. This is a standard practice. Literally everyone, not even just an industry standard. This is a standard across almost all services everywhere. Why wait? You're going to pay for the same amount. Yeah, you're going to pay for the same amount. We're going to live out the rest of your PS Plus at the discount and then buy in after 7 months. You didn't change anything. You paid for the remaining 7 months at the discount price, and then you jumped in at the new price. I guess you didn't spend the same amount of money because those 6 or 7 months you didn't upgrade, but then you didn't get the benefits either. So what's the point? PS Essential is the same as PS Plus Now, and if you want the extra, you pay, not hard. Right. I suppose if you got your discounted Plus, came from a third party like CD Keys, Sony will just have to assume you paid the $60. I don't know how that works. No, because when you buy from those places and you bank it, they're just going to give you credit for however much you bought, however much you paid for. You got those 6 months at the old discounted price. People think Xbox $1 deals is a standard are wrong. It was a promo, not the standard. That's what I was trying to point out earlier, Jeff. I was like, it's just another promo. We did that all the time when I was at Charter, by the way. We'd have people on the phone, and we'd be helping with them, their tech issue. And they wanted us to periodically try to sell stuff. So I'd say, hey, I noticed that you got HBO. You've had it for a while, and you got a promo price, okay? We're doing a promo right now. You can get HBO and Showtime bundled together at this discounted price. What it's going to, add up to is, $10 more a month. So you're getting a $30 value for 10. And a lot of people would do it. They'd be like, "Oh, sure." So I'm just replacing one promo and one discount with another promo and a discount. And that's literally what that was. Like when they were like, "Oh, convert for $1," that was Microsoft running a promo. And companies do that. Companies run promos, they run discounts. They're not, you have to pay extra. You're not paying extra. It kills me that you could be at a discounted internet service for 6 months, okay? So let's do the math here. Let's really blow some minds. So at $50 a month, that internet package should have cost you $300. It should have. Should have cost you $300, and it cost you $180. That means that you saved $120. So you saved $120 over the course of that 6 months. And when they say, "Hey, we have a faster internet package now, it's $100." And you're like, "Okay, I'm paying $30." And they're like, "Okay, we'll give you credit for what you've paid. You've paid the $30, and the prorated difference is $70." Or let's say you're halfway through the month. The prorated difference would, be $35 or whatever. So you pay the difference. And if you're like, "Oh, but I'm being made to pay extra." No, you're not. Well, because I'm down at 30, and the difference between 30 and 100 is greater than the difference between 50 and 100. Yeah, but you saved $120 over the last 6 months by being at that price. You're not being charged extra. You aren't. We're not making you pay back the $120. That's you. That's a net benefit to you. It's net savings. I mean, but you do have to pay back the discount of future services for the upgrade. It's not a separate service. It's an upgraded service with more features. Why should the base service not have the discount? Because it's not a base service. It's a different subscription fee, Gilly. Like when I upgrade my internet. When I go up to the $100 internet package, I can't be like, "Well, give me that base discount on the base internet price." They'd be like, "What the frick are you talking about? You're going from a 50 meg plan to a gig plan. You're going from a 500 meg plan to a 1 gig plan. You're doubling your internet speed. You're going from what is the $50 plan to the $100 plan. You don't get to maintain that discount. There is no base plan if it's prepaid. If it's not prepaid, then there's no quarrel. But again, if let's say that they did that with the internet package, Hilly, to make it an equal thing. Let's say they said, "Hey, we're going to give you this discount as long as you pay for the year in advance." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet, right? That's pretty dope. So 30 times 12, I got to give you $360. And I get my entire year of internet at a discount. And then halfway through the year, which would be 360, no, not 360, I'm sorry. Halfway through the year, they trot out a new plan that's $100. So 100 times 12 is 120. I'm sorry, it's 1,200. So that'd be 1,200, right? Minus the 360 you paid in because you prepaid. So that leaves 840, but it's only half the year. So then you got to take 840 and you got to divide it by 2. You would owe $420. That is fair. They give you the credit of what you've paid. You paid $360, so we subtract that. Oh, and it's only half the year, so you're only paying for 6 months worth of the internet. So you're going to buy 6 months of the new internet package. You owe us $420. That's fair. You get credit for what you paid. And when you switch to the new service, you pay the difference. The new plan does not have a discount. You cannot transfer your old plan's discount. I don't see, well, this is so hard for people to comprehend. This would be the exact same thing for your phone, cable, right? This feels a lot like digital goods have no value energy. It's the same as internet services too, says Distorted. Barring any special cases, like you calling and threatening to leave or asking for a discount for a long loyalty to the service. Yeah, which is up to their discretion. Yeah, you can do that all the time. If you want discounts on like Hulu and all those other things, man, just periodically go say that you want to cancel and they'll offer you a great discount. You know, just periodically go do that. We got a key for sonority as well. I mean, I don't think that's cool, but that's my moral view. You got to explain to me what's not cool about it. So you've established the parameters for what you think, Gilly. You think that if it's a prepaid customer, in your mind, you're like, they should not have to pay. They should get to maintain their discount. So they shouldn't have to pay. So in the example of the internet service, if it was a prepaid situation, your argument is they should basically be getting that new upgrade. It should be like an $80 instead of $100 because you're getting to keep that $20 discount in perpetuity. If you do upgrade, you do pay the discount back. No, you do not. You do not pay the discount back because if you've been on 6 months of the discount, paying it back would mean you'd have to pay them back what you saved. That is not true. You are not paying the discount back. That is false. That is such a misuse of language. You're upgrading to a new service. If you were on that internet package for 6 months at the 30, you saved all that money. They don't make you pay it back. That would be paying the discount back. Hey, you got to pay that back. What? What do you mean I got to pay that back? You've already paid for the service. Why are you now paying full price? Because you're switching to a different plan. Just like with the internet deal. They get you in on the internet deal at a discount. Yeah, sign up for our internet. It's $30. It's usually $50. You're like, that sounds like a pretty good deal. 6 months later, they add faster internet to your neighborhood, and that internet package is $100. If you upgrade to that new package, it's not discounted. Why? Because they know people want that fast internet speed, man. So, $100. You pay the difference. If you need to upgrade to the second or third tier of the premium membership, you need to make up for the difference in the previous discounted price first to return to the normal price. Yeah, that's not paying back, Hilly. That's paying the difference. You see how they used appropriate language and paying back is not the appropriate language? Paying the difference is not paying back the discount. Paying back the discount means you're giving them money that you saved. You're like, yeah, I saved this much money. Here's the money back. You're not paying back the discount. You're paying the difference. Think of it this way. Let's say that same internet deal goes on and the guy's going door to door. And your neighbor is like an old dude who's on the slowest package in the neighborhood and he's paying $20, okay? And you're on the $50 a month package, but you got the discount and you're at $20 a month as well. You're both paying $20 a month, but he's on some really slow plan. He's on the lowest level plan possible. And you're on some promo where you're getting a monthly discount as a new customer. And you both sign up for the $100 package. You're both paying the $80 difference in price. Why? Because you're currently at this level. This is how much money you're giving them, and now this is how much money you owe them. That's 100% fair. What are they supposed to do? Look at your account and treat you differently because you signed up under a promo? Well, because you're spending $20 but getting a promo, we're going to treat you as if you have a $50 a month credit. Why? You're giving them $20, same as him. You're both giving the company $20 a month, and you're both upgrading to something that now costs $100. You're still paying more because it's a monthly rate and not a yearly rate. Well, you can do the yearly rate. You're still going to pay the difference. You are paying the hypothetical discount you are going to get in the future, I think people are trying to say. But saying you're paying it back implies that it's not about the future, Sane. If you tell me that I'm paying the discount back, you're implying that I'm paying back the money that I saved. That idea of paying someone back, do you see? It's misleading as a phrase. It's totally misleading. It's like if you want to trade in your old car for a new one, they're going to give you the new car for free. You're paying the difference in the price of the cars. Right. Distorted says, all of your prepaid amount of service is switched to the new service too. What makes you think you are still owed that discount? None of your service is still on that plan. Yeah, you're abandoning the discount when you leave that package. As someone who actually prices for a living, you never pay it back per se. The discount is effectively a marketing and acquisition cost. Each product has its own marketing cost margins. It's not the same service, that's the point. That's exactly what we've been trying to say. It's like going to a hotel, and if I go to a hotel and I want to upgrade my room, I pay the difference. Yeah, you're switching to something different than what... Like, exactly, Wheezy. This is another great analogy. Let's say you and your friend book rooms on the ground level at this hotel, and the room is normally $100 a night, but you got yours discounted to $80. So you paid $80. You used one of those websites, right? One of those book it here websites. So you paid $80, he paid $100. If you want to upgrade to a suite that's $200 a night, you're paying the difference, which would be $120, and he's paying the difference of $100. Well, I shouldn't have to pay the difference because I got a discount at bookithere.com. And they're like, no. You have paid $80. That's the amount that you have credited to you right now. You owe us $200 if you're going to go into the bigger suite. The difference between the two is $120. Well, no, I should get that $20. No, that's not how the world works. You are just choosing to leave a service that was discounted for a service that's not discounted. Right. That's right. You got this room discounted because you bought or booked during some sale they were having. Well, now you're wanting to go up to a suite. Well, the suite's not discounted, homie. It's $200. You pay the $120 difference. Well, my friend only has to pay $100. Yes, because he already gave us $100. You gave us $80. He's given us more money, which means he owes less. It's that freaking simple. It's only scummy companies that would do that. All companies in the UK would let you keep that discount and then make you pay the difference. This is just what Sony's always done. So you think that it's scummy for companies to do that. So every single company in America that does this with their subscription services, TV, internet, and cell phone, they're all quote-unquote scummy. Companies in the UK would just let you keep the discount. That geocentric pride is hilarious. It's just hilarious. The press are well within their rights with the headlines as they are using the same language as the Sony email. No, they're not. That's false, Hilly. Paying the discount back is not the phrasing from the email. And paying the discount back implies you are paying them back. Paying someone back is about something that has happened previously. So if I have gotten a discount for 5 or 6 months and I read a headline that says I have to pay that back, that is not paying the difference. Paying the difference and paying it back are completely different phrases and ideas. It is misleading. It is dishonest. You're not paying anything back. The system will automatically calculate the amount that needs to be paid back. Let me reopen the article. You're not paying anything back. Hang on. Let me highlight the whole thing so I can see it. I'm not seeing that language. Hang on. Let me use that. Let me use Control F. Back. False. No, false. I have the whole thing right here. The word back is nowhere found in this email. So you're reading a different article than I am. I'll put it on screen. That phrase is nowhere in this email. Nowhere in the email, Hilly, does it say that. It doesn't say the system will automatically calculate the amount that needs to be paid back. That's not what's quoted here. I did a search for the word back, and I don't see it here. No, it says, rest assured that the system will automatically calculate the difference that needs to be repaid if you need to upgrade. Because you're repaying, you're paying a second time. You're not paying back, you're paying a second time. It's like you paid for your bill, you got to pay again because you're upgrading. You're repaying them. You're paying them a second time. It's right here. This is where you're claiming it says paid back. Please rest assured that the system will automatically calculate the difference that needs to be repaid if you need to upgrade. Of course, you can also upgrade or downgrade your membership according to your preference. You're not paying anything back. That phrase doesn't make any sense. Eugene says, what company would allow you to buy 3 or 4 more years at a current service at a discounted and then offer the new service and allow you to lock in that price for 3, 4, 5, and 6 years at a discounted price? Right, why would you do that? Again, you aren't going from a bronze service to a bronze service. You're going from a bronze to a silver or gold. You're staying with the basic, no one gives a crap. Repaid. Yes, but you are repaying them. The idea of repaying is that you're paying them again. To repay is to give someone a response for or favor. Repay within the range of meaning can mean pay back. It can mean that. In the context of this discussion, they are not saying you're paying us back. They're saying you're paying us again. You're paying us a second time. You have to look at the context of the email. Right above there, it gives an example. For example, this is how much it is for 1 year, and the discount is this. The difference is this. So you're paying them again. You're not paying back. The context here is not that you're paying back a discount. It even says right here, the difference, okay? The difference. So repaid, the antecedent, linguistically, the antecedent for repaid is the difference. You're not paying back a discount. You're paying them again, the difference. When they say repaid, it's referring to previous language in the email, and the previous language indicates you are paying the difference. You are not paying back the discount. You lose the discount if you upgrade, so the press are well okay to say you may need to repay. But they didn't say you may need to repay, Hilly. They said you may need to pay the discount back to upgrade, which sounds like I'm giving you money back that I've already saved. It's confusing. It's misleading. You're not... If they said you have to pay the difference because that's literally what the email says, it'd be totally fine. It'd be totally fine. You're paying the difference. Distorted says no one is paying the discount back. You are paying the difference on future months of service, which will all be months on a different plan. You are not paying any discount back for service you've already enjoyed. That is precisely why making that statement is so false. You are if you have 3 or 4 years? No, not true. No, because you haven't saved that money yet. You haven't. You haven't enjoyed those savings yet. Those months haven't taken place yet. Those years haven't taken place yet. You're basically saying, I prepaid for all those months out there, and this is how much each month cost. I'm now changing that plan up here. So now I need to pay for each of those months. I need to pay the difference on each of those months. You're still paying the difference. They've already paid? Yes, that's correct. You've already paid. The language is still, you're paying the difference. You're paying the difference on all those months. Yeah, sure. If you prepaid for that internet package, let's say that was part of the deal. They said, yeah, you can prepay for the whole year. Great. What do I owe you? Well, if you break it down month to month, this is how much you paid for. This is how much the new plan costs. This is how many months are left in the year. You owe us the difference on all those months. You're paying the difference. You're not paying back a discount. You don't have to pay back the discount. You have stopped getting the discount from now on if you upgrade. What if Sony refunded all prepaid months into a credit and then charged full price going forward for all tiers? Would that be fair? Yeah, I mean, that would be the same amount of money, wouldn't it? If you upgrade, you have to pay that discount back to the normal price. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you're switching services, Hilly. It's just so intellectually dishonest. I'm baffled at the intellectual dishonesty. You're not paying any money back. You aren't. You're switching to a different service that costs more money. When I switch from the $30 discounted internet to the $100, I'm not paying a discount back. I'm switching to a different service and paying the difference. I'm dishonest now? Hilly, with respect, you're being intellectually dishonest. Yes, you're saying things that are not true. It's not factual. It's intellectually dishonest. There's nothing honest about saying you're paying the discount back, because you're not. You're not. I'm just supposed to believe that the pro Xbox guys are all saying something that is a complete misuse of language, and it's not a coincidence? Come on. Come on. It's a chance to take a chunk out of Sony. And I started taking a chunk out of Sony. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know? You know what's funny? I'm a reasonably intelligent guy. I'm not stupid. I'm well educated. And when I read that blog yesterday, I got really angry. Do you want to know why? Because it sounded like I had to pay back the money that I saved. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, wait a minute. I have to pay that back? That doesn't make any sense. I literally read the article and concluded what I'm saying would be ridiculous, because that's what paying the discount back would be. And I started getting angry. I was like, this is dumb. Why would you make people pay that money back? Why would you make people do that? And sure enough, upon further inspection, that language, it doesn't make any sense, because you're not paying anything back. You're paying the difference because you're switching to a new plan. The same thing happens when you upgrade your internet package. The same thing happens when you upgrade your television package or your cell phone service. You pay the difference between whatever you had and the new plan. You have to on the remaining months of the deal you already bought. No. Nope. No. Because you're voluntarily leaving that plan behind and you're paying the difference. You're not paying anything back, Hilly. You're not. You see how easy it is? Like, yeah, Eugene's like, you were fully blinded by the article. Yeah, you see how easy it is to get spun up by these types of statements? I read it and I thought, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Why would they make you do this? If I prepaid for X service and it costs Y amount to upgrade from said X service, whether or not I got X service at a discount, I still own X service and should only be charged for Y. Hang on. If you prepaid for X service and it costs Y amount to upgrade from said X service, whether or not I got X service at a discount, I still own X service and should only be charged Y. But that makes what they're doing okay, Gilly. Normally when you're on a discount, you pay that price, the contract ends, and then you go to full price. But in this instance, there are no contracts to end, so it's plans. New plan, new price. Yeah, but Misery, a lot of the times, if you're going to increase your monthly payment, they let you out of that contract. Like Youverse did that, right? You could sign up for AT&T Youverse and get an absolutely just insane deal. But if you and you had a 1-year contract and a 1-year guaranteed price, so you couldn't cancel the service without paying a cancellation fee because you were under contract, right? But they would let you add to the plan. They would let you spend more money. They're not going to like stop you, but like, no, we don't want any more of your money, sir. So if you wanted to upgrade your Uverse package, you would likely lose all those discounts because you'd be switching to something else, and those things wouldn't be under promotional pricing. This is how every subscription service works. So like the minute you say to Sony, hey, I want that newer, more expensive plan, they're like, yeah, no problem. You just have to pay the difference. But I'm paying back my discount. Huh? It's just so illogical. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're switching to something completely different and it's more expensive. If you get £10 discount for 12 months, you have a £120 discount. If you upgrade month 6, you pay back £60 with Sony. No, you don't. That's completely false. No, you're paying the difference on the new plan. Hilly, just like in the example with the hotel room, you prepaid for 2 nights in the hotel room and you got a discount. You got some bonus that they were doing and you got it at $80 a night and your buddy got it for $100 a night. So he's given them $200 and you've given them $160. If halfway through the trip for the last night you want to both upgrade to a suite, he owes them the difference, right? Well, the second night you paid $100 and it's $200 for the suite, so you owe us $100. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you come up to the table and they're like, well, you paid $80 for the second night, the suite's $200, you owe us $120. Why do I owe more? Because you've only given us $80 and the room is $200, you owe us $120. Well, don't I get a discount? Well, no. The room you're in now, which you're fine to stay in, you got a discount on that room, and you can stay in that room. But halfway through the trip, if you want to upgrade, we will give you your $80 credit toward the suite, and you pay the difference. If you tried this in any other circumstances, they would laugh in your face. If you got some bundle promo deal on your hotel room, or they were doing some crazy sale on their website, and then you're going to stand there and tell the bell clerk that you deserve that discount on the suite, they're going to do everything they can to not laugh in your face. What do you mean? No. You're switching to a non-discounted room. You're paying the difference. But I prepaid. Oh, yep. You paid for the room in advance. That's great. And you can stay in that room. You can stay on that plan. If you want to go up to the bigger primo, you get what you've spent as a credit toward the new plan, toward the new room. It's that simple. Call a repayment or whatever, you still have to pay the amount of the discount back. People are okay to think that's not okay, but you're not paying that back. Imagine telling the bell clerk that. I'm paying my $20 discount back. No, you're not. No, you are not. You gave us $80. That transaction's complete. You've prepaid for the room. You've prepaid for the service or whatever. And the new service, the new suite, is this much money. We're giving you what you've spent as a credit toward that new thing. You're not paying anything back. You are voluntarily switching and upgrading and paying the difference. If you told that bell clerk in that hotel, well, I'm paying back my $20 discount, they'd be like, how? Seriously, is this a thing? Discount repayment in any other parts of the world? You mean the claim that it's a discount repayment, or are you saying what Sony is doing is discount repayment? Because that's not true. Any update on how Sony will deal with charging the difference up front to switch to higher tiers? You mean like making people pay for multiple years at a time? They've not said anything about that. You're still getting the base PS service with the upgraded plan. Call it separate service, but to the consumer, you're getting the same service and more, and you're losing the discount on the same service. Yeah, Smashville, if you don't do anything, you keep your discount. That's exactly right. They don't take away the discount. You keep it. As I said yesterday, what about people that got 3 years from gifts? It's not fair to them. And I'm in 100% agreement with you on that. Yes. Yes. They need to give you the option to do less years. Totally. They shouldn't be like, well, you banked 3 years, so you got to just automatically buy 3 more years or convert to a 3-year plan or whatever. Yeah, saying the problem that K-Billy is outlining is that if you got a bunch of those PlayStation cards and you prepaid for your PlayStation Plus for like a couple of years or whatever, they're making you like when you go to Switch, they're like, here's your price for 3 years because you prepaid for 3 years. And if you're like, whoa, I need a year maybe, I don't need 3. There's not enough flexibility there. Now, yeah, they could fix that, right? They could fix that. Right, Smashville, combine the years. Like, can you just squash everything that I've got credit for into 1 year and give me 1 year of premium? Yeah, that's dumb. That you're just and again, those are probably edge cases, which is why it wasn't planned for. That's awesome. That Star Trek tree, Butters. They need to convert the banked years into the equivalent of the higher tier at the same price. Yeah. And I don't think anybody's in disagreement about that. I don't think so. My issue was tweets and headlines like this saying things like, you have to pay the discount back to upgrade. And it's like, where's the reporting then on all the internet services and cell phone services and TV services that do the same dadgum thing? Outliers tend to be the loudest complainers. Well, the one guy had like 11 years paid out. I was like, huh? Why do you have 11 years paid out? I mean, who knows? I don't know. It sounds like he got some, some cards in some kind of a deal, like some online thing, or he bought a bunch of them and they were stolen or something. I'll be doing the premium tier, Caleb, because I want those demos. We'll be talking about the demo links. We've got information about that for the radio show today. You bought 2 years of PS Plus for $240. Here's your $240 back. Now you can buy 2 years of Essential at a discount for $240, or buy premium at full price. The guy from Asia got 20 years worth of PS Plus. Yeah, why does he have that much? Like, what did he do? It's not hard. Back when I played on my PS4 heavily, it went on sale for $30. I bought 5 years worth. Oh, really? Yeah, Kuda Papa said that's something that's less common in the American market. That people do that. That like the Asian market tends to do that. They tend to lock the price in, pay some big lump sum, and then they don't have to worry about it. I mean, to most people, when you lay it out, you have to pay to make up the discount of the base service. You can't argue the legal terminology, but the layman optics is what matters. Yeah. And when the layman optics are being told they have to pay the discount back, and I read the article yesterday, and the first thing I concluded was they're gonna charge me what I've saved? Like, huh? That's literally how I read it, because that's how it reads. When I worked at Charter and when I worked at AT&T, I never had anybody ever question this. You'd be like, well, yeah, you got that promo price or whatever, 8 months ago, but you're switching to a completely different service now. That discount doesn't come with you. I never had a single person argue that with me. Now, they would sometimes debate, and they'd be like, do we want to switch? I don't know. That discount's really nice. Maybe we want to stay on the lower plan. Was it prepaid, though? It doesn't matter if it was prepaid. You're still spending the difference. Imagine you go to the store and you buy, there's these shoes that are going for, they're doing some sale on some shoe. Like there's some typo in the system, and you're getting these $50 shoes for $30, right? You go and you clean them out. Oh, this is great. You get a bunch of them, you're going to try and resell them. And maybe reselling them doesn't work out, and you're within the 30 days, so you're like, well, I'm going to go take them back, right? And when you go back, they have a new version of the shoe that's really hard to get your hands on, and they have them in stock, and it's $100, okay? When you return those shoes, because you'd like to then get the more expensive shoe for the $100, they're going to give you that $30 credit toward the 100, which means you'd owe them 70. It's like, just because you're holding in your hand a shoe that's worth $50, a pair of shoes that's worth $50, doesn't mean you get $50 credited towards the new pair of shoes. There's nowhere you can go where that would be normal. It's like you're switching to something else. Yeah, you got that shoe or that hotel room or that subscription service at a discount, sure. But you are now switching to something else, which means you pay the difference. Sony can do nothing wrong. Shake my head if Microsoft did that. My God. I worked for Charter. I didn't mean to call you buddy. That sounds condescending. I worked for Charter and AT&T, and this is common practice. This is normal. I'm not defending Sony. I'm saying it's a false story. If Microsoft did this, I would be saying the same thing. I'm like, quit whining. You know what's funny, Moneybag? You know what's really hilarious? If Microsoft did this, all the Microsoft Game Pass guys would be complaining, and I'd be having to tell them to stop complaining. That's what's really funny. The grand irony is that all the Microsoft fanboys would be in here complaining about this if it was happening on Game Pass. No, I don't agree, Creature. I think they'd be angry. I think they'd be angry because I think they've been set up to think that like they get everything for $1. Like, you know, Xbox is turning its entire platform into Dollar General. You know, everything's $1. So that's in my mind, they'd actually be in here complaining. You'd be all over Xbox? No, I wouldn't. And you know what? There's no respect in this. Frick you for saying that, because you're calling my integrity into question, and frick you for that. Seriously. I would not be sitting here attacking Xbox for something that two different companies I work for did all of the time. I'd be saying, guys, this is totally normal. You are paying the difference. You don't get to keep your discount. So frick you for saying that. I have the integrity to be fair on both sides. So you think I worked at AT&T for 5 years and Charter Communications for an entire year, and I'm going to erase all that from my memory and blast Xbox for doing something that literally every single company in existence does. So frick all the way off to next week if you need to. Offense intended. Microsoft allow you to upgrade for $1 and honor it every year? Yes, but that's another promo, homie. I gave an example of that. When I worked at Charter Communications in the tech support, we would get people to switch their movie deals all the time. They'd have an existing promo, and I'd switch them to a new promo. There's nothing wrong. Just because Microsoft did another promo doesn't mean that Sony has to do the same thing. We all can change. I clearly prefer Xbox to PS5, and I would say you're the opposite. Maybe wrong, it's just my opinion. You are wrong, because I actually prefer my Xbox. I have my Xbox in the living room. I install games to play with my kids on my Xbox. I think the Xbox is easier to move around. I think the Xbox software is better. I think the Xbox social systems are better. Have you ever paid attention whenever we played those Call of Duty nights? Where did I play Call of Duty? Where did I play Warzone? Where? On my Xbox. Because I think the social aspects are better. I think the software works better. It's where most of my gaming history is on consoles. So yeah, you're wrong. Yes, currently there's way more games on my PlayStation that I enjoy, but you know, mathematically add it up. Mathematically add it up. Microsoft hasn't launched a lot of first-party titles in the last 3 years. Like, what do you want me to do about that? Pretend there's games that I'm playing on my Xbox? I can't help the fact that Returnal and Ratchet and Tsushima and Miles and God of War and Forbidden West were such great games. What do you want me to do about that? What do you want me to do about that? I can't help that. Those were games that I enjoyed. It had nothing to do with it being on Sony. It had nothing to do with it being on Sony. I just like those games. What am I going to go play on the Xbox right now that's first party? I was really bummed when Starfield didn't land this year. I was like, man, I was really looking forward to having a great first party title. This idea that like I would blast Xbox for doing prorated subscription changes, I wouldn't have done that at all. I would never have done that. Like I worked in an industry where this is so common practice let me explain to you something. There's a reason why when I read that blog yesterday, I got so angry. Eugene had to like talk me down. He was like, that's not what it means. That's not what it means. And I was so angry. Go watch the episode of Reforge Radio. I spent about 5 minutes ranting and going after Sony. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Do you want to know why I thought that? Because I worked in 2 industries where paying the difference in proration is totally normal. It's business 101. It's standard industry practice. There's nothing abnormal about it, right? And what I read was I have to pay back what I saved? What? It made no sense to me because I have experience in the subscription service industry, and what I read sounded like utter lunacy to me. Do you know why it's utter lunacy? Because it's bad phrasing. It's misrepresentative of reality. It's not what you're doing. You're not paying money back. You're not paying a discount back. You're paying the difference. That's all. Xbox is way better all-around ecosystem. Overrated games. Yeah, well, tell that to Metacritic and all the awards they won, Willie. Just stop. Overrated games. Yeah, says the person who's never played them. We blasted Microsoft for letting customers get on the sub for years at a 66% discount. Yeah, I blasted Microsoft for the exact opposite thing. I was like, you letting people get the thing upgraded for $1? That's... okay. Okay, we blasted the players for doing it. I was like, you're over here being a loophole gremlin, getting a big upgrade for $1. I was harder on the consumer. I wasn't hard on Microsoft for that. I mean, I said I was kind of stupid, but, you know, I think in their mind, they're doing loss lead. They're fine to take those losses on the front end. They're totally fine. They're like, all that matters is get as many people in the funnel as humanly possible. That's all that matters. Zubair says, I thought the PlayStation first-party games were all hype until I played them. Holy crap, they live up to the hype. I didn't even own a PlayStation when I played The Last of Us. I borrowed my brother's PlayStation, and I was like, I've been missing out. Like, there was no reason to stay, like, again. There was no reason to let loyalty get in the way. The $1 is only for new customers. They have the data. They know what they're doing to get new people. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there were existing customers that cashed in on it. It was kind of a loophole. Microsoft did it for $1 to entice people to join. Sony doesn't need to entice people because their product speaks for itself. It's not just new customers. People stacked 3 years and upgraded for $1. You can still do it, by the way. It's not Sony's fault nor Lono's. It's them not understanding how subs and plans in the world work. Only if they don't understand how pricing and service tiers work across the board. That's a consumer education problem, not a business optics problem. Yeah, like, is it Sony's responsibility to, like, educate their consumers on, like, how this sort of thing works? Game Pass did not let me upgrade for $1. I had to pay full price. This was just 2 days ago. No, that's not. It was something else, right? You had to do Xbox Live or something. You had to buy a bunch of Live and then convert or something. Does the product speak for itself though? No AAA on release seems like a waste of money to me unless you are new. Well, but again, Ferryman, one of the things that we said, if you look at the number of people, if you look at the attachment numbers, there are tons of people. So out of the 120 million PlayStation owners right now, there's a massive, massive percentage of them that have not played and purchased all the AAA titles. So do you see where I'm going? So just imagine that, let's say 70% of the 120 million have purchased half of the AAA titles. So they bought Spider-Man, but they haven't got Miles yet. They played Days Gone, but they haven't got a Death Stranding. They thought it might be out of their wheelhouse. They got Forbidden West, but they passed on Tsushima or Returnal. They thought maybe Ratchet and Clank was for kids, so they skipped out on it. Generally speaking, consumers do not buy every game that comes out. That's what all of the research points to. So, you have to consider something, Ferryman. If a massive percentage of the Sony audience hasn't played all those games, and they see that for $8 a month they can, they're going to do it in a heartbeat. They're not even gonna hesitate. Like, think of it on Microsoft. Microsoft's the same deal, right? 7 years from now on the Microsoft ecosystem, when they've got all these first-party titles on Game Pass, there's going to be plenty of Microsoft players that are like, I've only bought one or two of those. This Game Pass deal is great. Haven't most of those games been on the game for free each month at some point? Maybe, but you have to pay attention and download them. You have to know that it's happening. You know what I'm saying? There's 120 million people, bro. Again, you're only looking at that one aspect. There's also the aspect of you get titles every month. You get demos and trials. We've got new info coming out about the demos and trials over on Reforge Radio. Hey, what's good, Christina? If you had Live, you could upgrade to Game Pass for $1. Yeah, it was an Xbox Live to Game Pass thing. That's what people were taking advantage of. No. MacMan Gaming, no. PlayStation Plus is not combined with Ubi Plus. It's going to get Ubisoft Plus Classics, which will be 27 classic Ubisoft titles. It'll be up to 50 by the end of this year, but that's not Ubisoft Plus. It's something specific called Ubisoft Plus Classics. Why does Sony first party only sell 20 million out of 140 million? That's not even half. Well, you'd have to look at total number of sales at the time the game came out, contrasted against number of consoles. But I actually think that's actually pretty normal. That's actually pretty normal. That's actually like a really good adoption rate. Like, commercially speaking, 20 million is a massive amount of sales. So you have a large percentage of people that just aren't going to buy, whether or not they're just not into it. That like what Cliff's saying, maybe they just play Call of Duty, maybe they just play the sports games. So like the commercial success of these games, like Wheezy's saying, that's entering top 50 games sold of all time territory. Yeah, like the commercial success of the Sony titles, they're in like the upper echelons of quantity of sales. Now you look at the number of consoles and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they only sold that many. And it's like, well, but you're not looking at the right number. The 50th best-selling game of all time sold 22.2 million copies. Yeah. You also have to think they're hitting those quantities with a game that's only available on their system. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how people don't see Plus as a ripoff. 50 hertz games, demos, and only PS3 streaming. You kind of look like Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, I'll take that as a compliment. I don't see it, but he's a good-looking man. Thank you. I mean, that's the beauty of the market, isn't it, Moneybags? Isn't that the beauty of the market? You look at this and you say, there's no value in it. It's a ripoff. Cool, don't buy it. I bet you don't even have a PlayStation, so what difference does it make? And those of us that do can measure the value and pay accordingly. And I don't mean disrespect. Your opinion on the matter doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. Like, let's say Moneybag, that you really, really love subscribing to this monthly thing at your local laser tag. Because it's great. You and your friends love it. It's a great deal. You guys go every Thursday and Saturday night. And it's great for you and you save money. Now, if I come along and say, oh, it's just such a stupid waste of money. Laser tag? They're ripping you off, bro. You could do paintball for way cheaper and go to my friend's house. And you'd be like, I don't really care what your opinion is. Me and my friends love this. Like, so being like, oh, it's a total ripoff. I can't believe people don't see it. It's like, well, yeah, because we're not you. Like, it's... I have Game Pass, by the way. Like, I have both systems, and I have Nintendo Online for my family. I have Game Pass for my Xbox, and I'm going to do the PlayStation Plus Premium. I'm going to have it all. Why? Because I want it. Like, I like it. I'm a content creator, so the premium demos are just an absolute, just huge win for me. I can try any new game that hits $35 or higher without spending money, like I did on Dolmen. Like, look at what PlayStation Premium would have done for me the first month I would have had it. If I would have played Dolmen for an hour or two instead of buying it, it would have saved me money. Immediately money saved on a game like Dolmen. My opinion doesn't matter, but you talked about a writer's opinion on Game Pass. Okay, hang on. You're conflating things, Moneybag. You made a statement about consumers not seeing it was a ripoff, and I was showing you why consumers don't care about your opinion on whether or not it's a ripoff. I'm not saying your opinion doesn't matter ever at all. I want you to come here and voice your opinion. I was saying in the grand scheme and spectrum of a consumer deciding what has value, your opinion doesn't matter. That's why I gave the laser tag example. If you're a patron of that laser tag place and you love it and the subscription service is great for you, my opinion on it being a ripoff isn't going to matter to you at all. Now, in the realm of, like, when I was quoting people with their opinions about Game Pass, I quoted a former Xbox executive, the CEO of Take-Two, and the co-founder of Devolver Digital. And they were looking at the industry and saying Game Pass could have a negative effect on the industry. They're doing industry analysis. That's not like opinion on, that's a ripoff. Do you see the difference? You really feel this has value? Oh my gosh, yes. Are you kidding me? It's so reasonably priced, and if you've not played, all you have to do is if you've not played just 2 of the big Sony titles, it's a bargain. $120 for the year, and you get to play all those big AAA titles. So let's say you skipped out on Days Gone, and you skipped out on Miles Morales or something. Or maybe not Miles, because Miles was $40 and so was Returnal, so we'd have to pick a full-priced one. So let's say you skipped out on Days Gone, and you haven't got around to getting Horizon Forbidden West yet. You just haven't got around to it. You've been too busy with Elden Ring or whatever. That's $120 worth of games right there. So you just played them and enjoyed them, and it would have cost you $120. You've got the whole rest of the year of benefits. Demos of brand new games, $35 or higher. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Any of these games that add DLC. Yeah, Returnal was $40, wasn't it? Oh, wait, was Returnal $70 and people said it should have been $40? My brain might be morphing memories. I thought Returnal was 40, or maybe people argued that it should have been 40. I saw 20 plus games I haven't played yet. Moneybag said it on the internet, so it must be universally true and unequivocal. It was 70. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, Returnal. Returnal was 70. Returnal's a perfect example. How many people avoided Returnal because it was a little too different? They were like, I don't know. It's a rogue. I'm hearing that you die and restart. Let's just take Returnal and the Death Stranding the director's cut. Those are two games that lots of people probably avoided. The Demon's Souls remake is another great example. Death Stranding, Demon's Souls remake, Returnal. Those games aren't really for me. Guess what? For $8 a month, you can try them out. You can try them out. That's a crazy amount of value. If you pay $120 for the entire year and you just play 2 of the full price games that are on there, you have won the game. You've won. Pay to win. You paid to win. Yeah, they're adding a roguelike element to the next No Man's Sky season. We'll be talking about that on Reforge Radio maybe shortly. I think shortly. I think we're going to have to blow over there early again today. Okay, that's fine. It looks like we're going to be covering No Man's Sky tomorrow over here because we want time for the details to come out. We're going to cover it over here tomorrow is what it's looking like. Don't waste your time, Moneybag. Willie K, you're right. But I can emulate better on a Series console than a PS5. I mean, I'm not going to debate emulation in cloud. I've actually praised xCloud. I've said that there's tons of good reviews about xCloud out there. Yo, welcome back, Christina. Thanks for renewing that membership. I'm not educated enough to speak to the cloud-based stuff because, number one, we haven't experienced it yet on Sony. I've actually heard bad things. I've been consistent about that. I've said, listen, I've heard tons of good things about xCloud and how it runs, and then the PlayStation cloud-based stuff and the streaming stuff hasn't gotten very good reviews. I've been consistent in that. I've represented that viewpoint of the market and said xCloud gets better praise than Sony's cloud-based stuff, and that may end up being true. We may get to the end of June, I try a couple cloud-based games, and I'm like, this is rough, this is bad. There's no, I see you're still fighting the good fight. Hope you and the family are well. Thank you, Christina. Yeah, they're great, man. Kids are growing real fast. 8 and 6 now. 8 and 6. And don't do that thing. Don't do that thing, Willie and Moneybags, acting like don't waste your time. These guys won't listen to reason. Like, I'm sitting here saying that I have every service. I have the thing on Nintendo, I have the thing on Xbox, and I'm going to have the thing on PlayStation. And I outlined the reasons that I'm doing it, which are largely going to be different than the reasons of other people. I'm outlining people that would likely love the value of PlayStation Plus because they skipped out on a couple of titles. Like, I feel like I'm being reasonable. It's like, yeah, man, there's plenty of people that are going to see this as a great deal. And I'm rooting it in facts, by the way. These are facts. Industry reports show that the average attach rate of games shows that there's no way PlayStation owners have bought all of those AAA titles. They just haven't. The majority of them have not. The majority of them are buying 2 or 3 games a year, which means they skipped out on a bunch of titles. And again, this is just industry analysis. These are facts. This isn't me saying it. They've looked at it and they've said attach rates, the average person's not buying every dadgum game that's out there. I mean, you can't look at the industry and look at people complaining about video game prices and full price this and full price that and then be like, oh, but they're all buying every single game. You know what I mean? These overpriced games, they launch broken, $60 and $70 is such a ripoff. Well, yeah, a lot of people probably do think that, and so they buy 1 or 2, 3 games a year, 2 to 3 games a year. It's crazy how people say Game Pass has no games, but Plus service does. I've never said that. I've never said that. I've said that it's right now they're not getting. I've made predictions about Game Pass money bag. I've said that going forward, you're going to see less third-party AAA games land on Game Pass during their launch month. I think you're going to see less. I think you're going to see less indies go to Game Pass during their launch month. I think you're going to see more of the third-party AAA titles and more of the indie titles go to Game Pass in their second or third month, or they'll try to time it with DLC. I do my absolute best to be fair and not like hyperbolic, and I try to talk about how Game Pass does have value. And the only thing I've said lately about Game Pass is what Zubair is saying. It lacks AAA titles right now, and if you are going to sit here, this is one thing I've said, Money. If you're going to bash the PlayStation Plus because it's not getting their first-party titles day and date, like you're not going to be able to play Ragnarok on PlayStation Plus, you're going to have to buy it. And people talk about how that's so dumb, that's a ripoff, this is DOA, it's dead on arrival. I've been told that many times by the pro Xbox guys in chat. And I turned it back around on them and I said, if that makes PlayStation Plus worthless, then Xbox Game Pass is worthless for most of the year. Because if all it takes is an absence of first-party AAA titles to be worthless or DOA, then Xbox Game Pass has been pretty bad for a while. You got Forza and Halo Infinite campaign. And the rest of the year, the rest of this calendar year and the beginning of next year, nothing. So I'm not saying that Game Pass has no value. I'm saying if that's how you estimate the value of PlayStation Plus, you got to be fair and turn around and look at Game Pass and say, well, the same thing's true over here. Most of the year, we're not getting big first-party AAA titles. You've got to be fair. I am actually more fair to Game Pass than your logic is if that's your argumentation. I'm not saying that's your argumentation. But if that's your argumentation, I actually have a higher view of Game Pass than you do, because I'm like, Game Pass is actually really great for all those cool indie titles, because I like indies. I love ID at Xbox. I got to interview the guy from ID at Xbox at E3. Big fan of indies. I love that Xbox and Microsoft have invested a lot in indies. So I actually have a higher view of Game Pass. I'm like, there's great stuff there, man. Every couple of weeks, you're getting these really cool little indie titles to try out. And guess what? These are indie titles that you would never try out accordingly. And if indie titles are smart, what they're going to start doing is having some form of microtransaction or DLC. So if they hook you and you really like it, they might get some money from you, because they don't get money from you when you play on Game Pass. They get money from Microsoft to go on Game Pass, but they need quantity of sales to make their budgets and their margins and to continue going on. So, indie titles and third-party AAA companies are going to have to start thinking differently about when they land on Game Pass and how they make their money. Indie devs have said Game Pass helps them. There are some indie devs that have been helped by Game Pass. There have been some indie devs that have not been helped by Game Pass. It's not across the board universally wonderful. It's more than that. Control and Hellblade are on Game Pass. It's not all cute little games. Right. And that is a great testimony to why PlayStation Plus will be great for people out of the gate. How many people right now have Game Pass and are like, Control looked kind of weird, Hellblade looked kind of weird, I never bought them, guess what? I can go try them. That's a value to you, is it not? Well, then that means it's a value to people on the PlayStation Plus. Maybe they skipped out on Death Stranding because they heard it was a walking simulator. Maybe they skipped out on Returnal because they heard about the dying and going back to the beginning and they don't really like rogues. Maybe they skipped out on Ratchet and Clank because they thought it looked like a kid's game. And boom, there they are. You can play them now. Same as Xbox Game Pass, man. These games you skipped out on, these games that might have been a little out of the left field for you, whether it's a little indie title or Hellblade or Control, boom, there you go. That's great value to you as a consumer. So that's the point that I think people just keep missing, is it's like Game Pass has appeal and has value. So does PS Plus. Now the value rises and falls on what the consumer wants from it. That's why some people are turning on Game Pass and they're saying, I thought I was going to get a bunch of AAA games all the time and I'm not. And they're canceling. They're not wrong for doing that. They're not getting out of it what they expected and they're canceling. I'll be getting Ghost of Tsushima. Will get me to try it out finally. Oh, you're going to love it. I hope you love it. The biggest thing you have to adjust to in Ghost of Tsushima is there's no classic targeting. Have they added that? Oh, I swear did they add that in the patch? Can you get classic targeting now? in Tsushima. That was the hardest thing for me to adjust to, but once you adjust to it, oh, it's wonderful. Both PS Plus and Game Pass are amazing with or without AAA. Like loads of games, old, new, good, and bad, you're never bored. Only that Melt was crying about having too much choice. No. The one person, Hilly, said it might get to the point where you have too many things to choose from, like how you feel when you go to Netflix. They weren't saying that you currently have too much to choose from. They were saying it could get so bloated that you feel that way. Like in 3 to 4 years, if Game Pass looks like Netflix, you might have that feeling. You might be like, oh my gosh, there's just too many things to choose from. Bill did promise 4 to 5 AAA first-party exclusives every year for Game Pass, and that's why people are leaving now. That promise was not being kept. Jeff, where did he say that? I don't recall him saying that. Is that accurate? I can't wait for the influx of I was wrong about Death Stranding. I wish I had time to play it. I can't. You know what I mean? I don't have any time for that game. I forgot about the Ghost update. Did they add it? Has anybody answered me? Did they add that to Ghost? Yes, you get classic targeting, but I see now why they didn't have it at launch. Way too much going on the screen to be locked onto one person. There's an article, Google it, March 2020. Phil Spencer, March 2020. Phil Spencer, March of 2020. Our goal is to release... Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Hang on. Being reported on VGCharts.com. Our goal is to be able to bring 4 or 5 new big games to the platform every year. We do not have an imposed formula in the terms of size, style, or play, ranking, or genre. We give our teams a lot of creative freedom. Okay, so he said big games, new big games. He didn't say AAA. We let our studios decide. So the headline says 4 or 5 AAA games every year. I'm not seeing that. I feel like they're misrepresenting what he said. With Xbox Game Studios now having 15 studios, Phil Spencer in an interview revealed the goal is to release 4 or 5 AAA games to Game Pass every year, but that's not the quote. He says, having a great steady stream of outgoing games to our Xbox platform as well as Game Pass is essential for us. Our goal is to be able to bring 4 or 5 new big games to the platform every year. It's a goal, right? It's a goal, not a promise. And he says new big games. So I would consider Ori and the Will of the Wisp a new big game. They own the studio. It was a great sequel. It was pretty well known. It got a lot of awards. It's so subjective. That to me is a new big game, and that wouldn't be a AAA. That wouldn't be a AAA studio or game. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like we're reading. I don't want to do that to Phil. That's reading too much into what he said. That's a misrepresentation of what he said. Big new games is not AAA. There's plenty of games that are big and new that are not AAA. There's plenty of games that I think hit good thresholds. The big is what's going to trip people up, though. I'll be honest. If I'm honest and I'm fair, he used the word big. And like, V Rising is super popular. And it's new. But I wouldn't describe it as big. So, like, let's just imagine V Rising landed on Game Pass or whatever. Would anybody say, oh, it's a new big game? No, it's made by, like, what, 7 people? You know, it's an isometric vampire Valheim. It's not a big title. It's a new title. It's getting big with respect to, like, sales and commercial success, but the game itself we wouldn't describe as new and big. I would say it's not fair to hold into that directly, but I would also say they are far away from that goal. I would agree with that. Even if we don't hold him to AAA, I would say you're not really coming close to that goal, Philly Phil. I love you, and I think you are handsome, but you are not close to this goal, dude. There hasn't been 4 or 5 big games this year that have hit Game Pass. Yeah, V Rising's just crushing it. What'd they hit, Wheeze? What was that, 1 million in sales? Jamie fragging Christmas. They've got to be so happy. Just good for them. I love stories like that. That and Death's Door, it makes me so happy. I'm like, man, they're just sitting there. They've got to just be absolutely mind blown by that. It's so much money for a studio that size. Golly frick, $1 million in sales. Just excellent. So good. So happy for companies that get to experience that kind of success. I hope they pour it into bonuses for their people. I hope they get to do more content. I hope nothing but good comes for those companies. That's just awesome. I love it. And I love that they just kind of come out of nowhere when they do it. Death's Door did it. V Rising doing it. That's just great. It's good. That's good for gaming. Hey, come to our service. Our goal is X. You better get close to X. Yeah? I have V Rising downloaded yet. I haven't played it yet. Cash, when you build, make sure you have a good amount of space. That's the first tip I'm going to give you. Find a place that's well shaded and you have a lot of space. It will really help your early game feel good. I just quickly built somewhere and it was cramped and annoying. So you're going to want space to put stuff. Think of it like you're building a Sims house or something. You need squares and space. Whenever it's time to start building, make sure you pick a spot with good shade and space. There's no rush. There's no rush. If you rush it and pick a crappy spot, you're gonna regret it. Sifu sold over 2 million copies. Oh, dadgum. Hoping for a sequel? I would think you're gonna get it. Rising isn't my normal bag, but I'm bored of everything, so I might give it a try. If you're going to get into a survival game, Zubair, I think the way they set up the content loop in V Rising makes it really, really easy to get into a survival game. I do. Aim for the middle of the map. Oh, you're saying wait and push to the middle? I never considered doing that. Okay. Oh. Creature, you used previous settings on the new stream, so the thumbnail's wrong. You gotta create new every time. Gotta create new, man. YouTube is butter. YouTube is butt. You can't. It's got the wrong thumb over on radio. That stupid glitch happened again. Spider Heck official trailer. This is out tomorrow. Spider Heck. What is that? Lightsaber. That's like a lightsaber Smash Brothers. That looks great. Is he here? Did he hear me? I'll DM him. Thumb glitch on radio. I want to first look on this in Sniper Elite. Oh, he heard me. Okay, cool. It's fine. Is it showed me wrong when I clicked on it and when I was out. Usually when I clicked on it, it would fix it. No, it's even wrong on my cell phone. I had to rush because you started talking about bailing. Oh, sorry. I mean, we can always linger if we need to. I don't want you to ever feel rushed. We had to bail on the first show. Well, not bail. We did a 2, and this will end up being a 2. Sadly, the news is just dry, so we can't carry these to 3 like we like to. We got to go to 2. It shows the last pick. Yeah, whenever you schedule a stream on YouTube, you can use the previous stream settings to save you some time, like if you're doing a series or something. But when you do that, it commonly glitches out the thumbnail and uses the old thumbnail, even if you switch it. It's really stupid. PlayStation did nothing wrong. Never mind, changed. Yeah, he's on it. He fixed it. The thing is the reason I let him know is sometimes it'll look right for him. He'll go on his merry way and get to work on other things, and then he won't know because it looks right for him. So it's like, that's why I let him know. I was like, hey, yeah, I did the thing. It's like saying you shouldn't be announcing planned games before they come out. They're offering a vision you don't have to buy before they realize it. Game of the year is Elden Ring. Yeah, I think Game of the Year is Elden Ring, but Ragnarok's going to have a huge advantage being the more recent title. It'll be one that people can beat more exhaustively because it'll be easier. It'll also be one that's more narratively driven with great characters, writing, and voice acting. So I do think Ragnarok is going to have some advantages, personally. Ragnarok could sweep it and take it. I do think it's Elden Ring. I think it's Elden Ring's year to lose. I had a significant amount of stuff to your KOTOR topic as well. Okay. Okay. Let me give myself an outline then. We got KOTOR. We got PS Plus demo details on how it will work. What's our other big ones that we were doing? Adjusted it from Xbox. Turned it down to KOTOR news. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's okay, cool. So I got KOTOR news, I got PS Plus demo details and how it will work. What else are we covering? Do we got... Oh, Hogwarts. Exclusive details. I like to have 4. I don't know what the 4th is. Let me pull it up. So we're trying to set this up to where even if we have to cut shows a little bit short, you guys get the same amount of content throughout the day. The PS1 games. That's it. Have a big downside. That's it. Okay, that's a good 4 lead in. But we try to make it to where you guys get the same amount of content. You should be able to watch me all the way until 3:30 or 4:30. Somewhere during that time of day we're ending, even if we have to cut some of these shows short. As long as you ride the redirect or click the links and come with us, then you should be able to get the same amount of talk show content all throughout the day. We just have to have the flexibility to just cut bait on something and be like, this didn't pull. Like, the PS Plus upgrade price thing, I thought would pull, and it might have because we were on a great upward trajectory really early in the stream, and then I had that big crash. Now, it looks like we followed a similar pattern up to close to 300 viewers, and we held for a very, very long time. So it did well. We're just not getting... We're not getting the greatest treatment from search right now, and that's because these topics aren't that hot, right? Like the thing this morning, Modern Warfare release date, that's not hot now. That was hot yesterday. So I probably should have, couched that one in the leaks and skill-based matchmaking. So we just have to have that freedom and that ability to say, yo, we're not getting good search off of this. We need to bail to something else. And that just means we go to radio a little bit earlier. I personally don't like negative news. I tend to not click on streams about stuff like that. This morning wasn't negative news. Or you mean the show right now? Yeah, and sometimes, Creature, you have to let No Man's Sky percolate for a day. You know what I'm saying? We've learned that before. You have to let No Man's Sky percolate for a day. If we dive into No Man's Sky right now and talk about it over there, it won't get a lot of traction because you got to let it percolate for a day. How about covering multiple gaming topics on one show? That's what we do on Reforge Radio? He always stream negative? Yeah. Yeah. I always stream negative. That's all my news is. That's it. God of War graphics look different. They look better. Summer Game Fest killed E3, praising Keighley for all of his work. Scorn release date and gameplay. Hogwarts PlayStation exclusive possibility. The Fortnite live event points to MMO RPG clues. News about the God of War Ragnarok release date. V-Rising gameplay. PlayStation Plus huge news getting 85 plus games. The 505 Games live press conference. The Fall Guys live premiere. Xbox Game Pass is bad for indie games. Okay, that's negative. Halo Infinite game night members only. Evil Dead gameplay. Elden Ring gameplay. Elden Ring game of the year just got easier. Division 9 gameplay. Division 9 is a time to get back in. Gotham Knights gameplay. 343 Ruin speedrunning. There's a negative one. Yeah, man. So much negativity. Whew. There's a lot of negativity I just rattled off there. Oh, you were being sarcastic, Driz. I didn't catch it. I was like, wait a minute. That's what radio is all about. That's what radio is all about. Like, this channel's about a single topic. That channel is about, lots of different stuff. Oh, are we going to be able to run the rollers premiere? Is that going to be ready in time? Creature, or do we want to try to redirect to it instead? I'm good either way. I just wasn't sure. I that's why I tried to upload that as fast as possible this morning. And it's not very long. It's a shorter video. Okay, I guess it's just you. What are you here for then, man? Less games, less AAA games, no first party. How's it the same service as last year? If I start it now? No, I'm asking, is it ready? I can hold out and wait. Is it ready? If it's not ready, then we can redirect to it. We can always redirect to it. We haven't tried that. We can just end the day and say, "Hey guys, we're gonna send you over to some new gameplay." I'm good with either strategy. Oh, you have it uploaded. I mean, if it's uploaded, don't rush. Don't rush, because it looks like it's uploaded but nothing typed up. So yeah, don't rush. I mean, we can wait a little bit. We got time. We can chill for a little bit here. We don't have anything. We don't have any spice in chat. That's the only thing. You started in 5? Okay. It's a 10-minute video, so if you started in 5 and I send people over now, it'll redirect people to us after 10 minutes. So why don't we do that? Let's just do that. Because that gives me time to run upstairs, use the restroom, stretch. I got to change the disc plates and the lighting. Let's just do that. That should be enough time. You have typed up, just haven't saved it? Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just do it. All right, so we got a lot of more gaming news to cover. I like to hear the debates, and you're not all bad. I appreciate you having such high praise for me that I'm not all bad. That's high praise. I don't know if I've received a compliment quite that high in quite a while. You got to keep me humble, so don't go too overboard. Okay, we have news about Knights of the Old Republic. We have news about Hogwarts Legacy unique features on the PS5. PlayStation 1 games have a downside on PlayStation 4 and 5. And the PlayStation Plus premium trials we've got info on how they work. All right? We're going to cover all that on radio. So radio is different than here. We do a rundown. We go boom, 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 boom. We go through a bunch of different news things and break it all down. All right? I'm going to put a link in chat. It should redirect you. If redirect doesn't work, we're going over to Reforge Radio. if you have a membership on Reforge First Look, which it is getting a video today, it's going to premiere in a little bit. It is the Roller Champions game from Ubisoft. That game is going to hit today. If you still have a membership over there, move it to radio. We want to hit 200 members on radio so we can start doing Madam streams on Mondays. We'll do news and then Madam. So it'll be members only, but it'll be after the news. So head over right now, click that link or ride the redirect. We're going to be heading over and talking about KOTOR news and PlayStation news and trial news and Hogwarts news. Lots of stuff still to cover. And yes, there's new PlayStation 5 Pro details as well as a new Xbox details. We'll be covering that over there. That just broke. So head over to radio. We got a lot to break down.